What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here with informative video, if you will. You can tell by the title of the video. I just have two things really to cover, and then also the real overall goal is to answer some questions I've been asked a few times in the last 90 days, and I've just never really fully answered them. The other one is to prevent direct messages that are going to come. And then also it's because I have something to say about what's going on, and I want to share my point of view about things. All right, so why am I leaving OneHive? Let's first start with a thank you to OneHive. Really fantastic clan. In order for me to really illustrate and capture my appreciation, and then in order for the rest of this conversation to make sense, it's important for you guys to know again why I almost left the game about a year and a half ago. It was because of cheating. It was because Supercell wasn't doing anything about modding. I figured, why should I invest my time and effort into a game that is stacked or rigged against me? I absolutely love the game. It's a lot of fun. I love chess, I love strategy. I view this as a moving chess game. But the fact that it's never a fair fight because of modding and Supercell's inability to do anything, forget it. So that's why I almost left, and then I decided, anyway, fast forward. I wanted to know if I was ever good enough to be performing at the highest level ever possible, and OneHive is that. So I have proved to myself that I am good enough to war with the best of the best out there. And I do view OneHive as the best of the best. Really a good clan. So by accomplishing that, now I'm looking with this situation with the CWL and things like that. So with the history, you guys know about how Jake quit the game, and he quit the game because the game was never going to be what he wanted it to be. Supercell wasn't going to do anything, and so he quit. Right? We all know that. Really, what I want to say is thank you to for the fun times I've had getting to know Lars, Savage Ferdy, Gianni, Treff, Jake the Rake, Pero, Chris, Tass. There's so many, Boss. There's so many people out there that there's really a bunch of great players and teammates at OneHive. And I'm really grateful for the relationships I formed there. It's a great place to be. So leading up to, if you're able to deal with some of the rules and regulations, or rules, the way that they conduct the clan, it's very strict. I had a fun time there up until pretty recently. I'm no longer having fun at OneHive. And this is just my own personal view. It's not what OneHive is like for everyone there. So I was doing YouTube before that. I was given the opportunity to cover the YouTube channel, and I was told for the longest time that I was doing a good job, and basically, quote, keep doing what you're doing is what I was always told. Just keep doing what you're doing with the channel. We think you're doing fine. For the 9 months, so up until about February, right when Jake came back out of retirement to see what we're doing in the CWL finals, right? Up until that point, I've made mistakes. I'm never perfect. I've made a few mistakes as far as in videos, and maybe misspoke sometimes and things like that. But at the end of the day, I was still being told I'm doing a great job. So much so that even Cheddar Honcho reached out to me and said, we would like you to work towards being an elder and a co-leader at OneHive. I think it was Prime. No, I'm sorry, not I think. Cheddar was Prime's leader, so maybe it was implicit only for Prime. But nevertheless, I was basically told I would keep doing what I'm doing in the videos, and the result of which, hey, we want you to try to be an elder and someday a co-leader. I turned it down, saying no, not because I wasn't interested. I was honored and humbled, but I don't have the time for it. I know what it means to do that title work of elder or co-leader. I didn't have the time, and so I gracefully and really declined to it. But I was flattered, and I still am honored that I was even considered to have that conversation. But the moral of the story is, I haven't changed the way that I do videos since the time that I was asked to do them, and I was told that I was, quote, doing a good job nonstop. Let's fast forward. So I can only be myself. I'm not going to change. I'm a weird person when it comes to personalities. I know a lot of people thought I was being fake with how dumb I am sometimes with the voices I make. I think you guys all know that's just me. I'm kind of I'm old man, but I'm pretty silly and I'm pretty transparent anyway. Well, YouTube is a lot like Baskin Robbins, where there's 31 flavors, except in the YouTube world and Clash of Clans specifically, just that, you got 3,100 flavors. So I can only be myself, my own flavor, if you will. I tried to stay true to that. And I feel like I haven't changed at all. I do think I've held back a lot of what I would like to say at certain times because of the understanding that because you're in OneHive, you got to be careful what you say. You can't really say what you are thinking publicly out there because then it could be a reflection upon the clan. That's just the way that they roll. So I really never liked that. There are a lot of times I've bitten my tongue throughout the last year that I haven't been able to fully say what I want to. Recently, because I'm no longer the channel's no longer affiliated with OneHive, I've been able to say more and more what I want to, and it feels great, man, because it just does. I love being able to freely express myself. Yeah, and have others do it on the channel as well. So along the way, then Jake came back, and when I knew that I was in trouble, is during the Archer Queen conference semifinals versus War Whales. Actually, no, it was during the Archer Queen finals. It was during the finals. I had scheduled an interview of a Brutally Honest with Zeus from Semper Invicta, a known open mod clan, notorious. Okay, my goal was to. I don't have a problem with people that make a choice to mod if they own it. I don't choose to play the game that way. If somebody chooses to play the game that way, knowing full well all the repercussions that happen with it, that's on them. The open mod, I do not take issue with. I don't agree with it. You'll never catch me doing it. But I don't disown someone because they make that choice. And just because I don't disown them and just because I still have a conversation with them, it's open mod is not a disease. I am not going to be infected with it and I'm going to become open mod because I know someone who's open mod. Life does not work like that. It don't. Think about it like this. How many of your friends are alcoholics or have issues and you're there for them to talk to them? Or even like Republican or Democrat, they have like fundamental views about the world. Do you just not befriend them? No, you love them for who they are, or you're friends with them for who they are. You just accept that about them, even in all their imperfections that you guys don't have in common, which is crazy. So I didn't have a problem with talking to him, and I really found it interesting to talk to someone that had that mindset, which was so different from mine. And I felt like I could have a conversation in a proper way without condoning or basically elevating or, quote, giving a platform to Zeus to be like, oh, everybody mod. I really thought I could talk and have a conversation with him, and I still do. It's still out there, buddy. You have my line and my Twitter. Hit me up. Let's do it. That I never could. And that's what happened. I was talking about how I was interested in doing it, how I really thought it would be kind of cool idea, and a co-leader at OneHive publicly in the OneHive chat, if you guys haven't figured out well, let's keep going, said that I cannot do it. I am not allowed to have this conversation with Zeus. And I was like, well, why not? And it's basically as long as, quote, and I've screenshotted all the conversations I've ever had about the channel and everything that I'm referencing. And the reason why I did is because of this conversation here that took place during the during the finals of the CWL from season 1 in our group me chat, which is, you can't do it as long as OneHive is backing your channel. You just can't. It goes against everything OneHive stands for. And basically, I was told, do as you're told. And I did not like that. It's my channel. And I wanted to do it. And then it was, I didn't understand it. I felt that it was being misconstrued, and then I was basically told, not basically, I was verbatim told, sorry, I gotta be very clear. You only care about yourself and subscribers, and you care only that of growing your channel more so than the clan's best interest. I was hurt by this comment. It was the first time I'd ever seen anything like that. Because for the 9 months leading up to that conversation, that comment, I was told nothing but keep up the great work, you're doing a great job. And it sucked. I was immediately drawn back and thought about all the hours and time that I've spent in front of a computer away from my family, making 30-minute videos, live attacks, trying to come up with creative ideas, my own things. We're keeping the best interests of the clan, growing the channel, yes, but also growing the clan. I was dedicated, is the key word, to OneHive up into that comment right there. And it bothered me because it was also publicly and it was a leader doing it. And it made me think of the way that I run my own clan and then my own experiences in the military, rules that I've learned about governing people that you punish in private and you praise in public. And I was being publicly humiliated by a co-leader in the OneHive clan. And I know it bothered other people because people said, can you guys maybe take this to a private chat? And it never was. I was basically told to just never bring this up again because, and to focus on the finals. Rightfully so, I should. And so I was DM'd a few times by some colleagues and clanmates at OneHive that shared my point of view that was basically fucked up. And that I did not agree with that, and it didn't sit well. So I saw it coming, with Jake coming back right about then, and that because of this conversation, and it really, basically, like everything I ever did for the clan, my loyalty meant nothing. It meant nothing to this person as soon as it came back. Yeah, it never got addressed. It never got brought up again, up into about 90 days ago. Or I'm sorry, I forget how long ago this was. Whatever, I have timestamps on all these screenshots. But anyway, what broke the straw that broke the camel's back was after, well, two of them. After week 1 Reddit Omega, it was asked who's going to do the recap, Jake or Brutal Raids. I found it funny because I thought I was the one, I was the YouTube guy. Why is it even a discussion? So there was a lot of, I picked up on the cues. People wanted Jake to do it again. This was before we even talked to Jake, and Jake even said that he was coming back. There was already a sense that, hey, Jake needs to start doing the recaps again, but nobody was really saying it. They were being very passive-aggressive about it. And really, when I say they, I really mean one person. So I did the recap. I messed up, all right? I showed a portion. You can probably go see it now. There's a portion in the chat that is shown that is basically right in their bumhole is what's said. And it's, you know, stuff like, hey, if you think things like that are not being said, you're ridiculous. Things like that are said all the time in personal chats. But the fact that I'm airing it on a channel puts OneHive in a negative light. It's all about perceptions and PR. So very passive aggressively, I said I was editing that, but that same person that conveyed this information to me, and is saying it basically as from the eyes of OneHive, right? Leadership specifically. Nice editing job. Very passive aggressive. It's like you don't have to be like that. You know, you can just talk to me like a human being, and I'm not perfect. And then it turned into basically don't do voices. I cannot be myself. Don't. They hated. Did not. There was a few that did not like the fact that I would bust out into song or character, just being myself like Donald Trump or the Hog Rider. And I was basically told, quote, don't be yourself. I can't do that. This is not a job for me. I don't have to put a fake face on. This is not a business of mine. I do that 40 hours a week. This is a hobby for me. It's supposed to be fun. And it started to take away the fun. And obviously there was a group that wanted Jake to be the guy coming back. That's totally fine, but that's not how it happened. Now fast forward to the Power Rankings Week 1 video. I commented on Powerbank's Champions War League channel. Week 1 Power Rankings. As you see this wizard here just muscling through that wizard tower is pretty badass. But I commented that I did not understand how Dark Looters was ranked 3rd on the Power Rankings after just 1 week worth of data and ranked 3rd over a clan like Spartan's Legacy, which had the highest total destruction, the most stars, and the most 10v10 threes of the week. And I asked the question, what goes into this? In fact, if you guys want to know what I asked, the same process of thought is on the video right now. If you go there right now, you'll still see it in the comments. Unfortunately, though, I had to delete mine. I've also been told to delete other videos when Jordan was attacking, or maybe it was someone else. Somebody was attacking on ASAP Ozzy's account. And I had mentioned in the video that I believe this was someone attacking on ASAP Ozzy's account. I was told within minutes of posting this video to take it down immediately. Because if Supercell watches that, it's against terms of service, and they could, ban accounts that way. But everybody does it. And it was legal, by the way. Don't get me wrong. It was basically what happened in the Archer Queen semifinals with Snip being so sick, and somebody else that was already on the roster, already in the war, did the hits for him. It was the same situation like that. But the reason why because I said it out loud in the YouTube video, I was told to take it down. That is the only one, and those people that keep up with the channel will know, there's only been one time that I ever had a re-upload, and that was the reason why. So I felt like I bent over backwards trying to do exactly what was expected of me, but it was not good enough. It never was. Yeah, it was great. But I publicly challenged Powerbay and his philosophy. I didn't understand it. And I felt that I did it in a respectful way by also praising Dark Looters and War Whales. They're great clans. Well, Dark Looters is. And I'm great. I can say this now because I'm not in OneHive. I don't have to worry about being booted because I'm leaving under my own power. But I praised them. I wasn't trying to take anything away from it. I just disagreed with the ratings. And heaven forbid you disagree in this community because people would jump all over you and call you a shade thrower. And no, I just have a disagreement. It's okay to have a disagreement with views. If I was just educated, and eventually I got my answer. It's his own opinion. It's Powerbank's own opinion, but that wasn't clear for me. I didn't understand what went into that process of thought. I didn't know if it was leaders all voting on who they think the power ranking should be. But I said it publicly. And so fast forward, now this conversation comes up and I'm being tagged by that same person that basically questioned my loyalty to the clan publicly in front of everybody back at the CWL finals. And I was basically told there was no conversation. There was no back and forth. There was no, hey, what did you mean by this? It was basically already decided. It was remove your comment right now. You are making us look bad. You make OneHive seem like we're salty about losing to Dark Looters, and it was nothing like that. But people are going to view it that way. At least they did, so they wanted me to delete it, which I did because I do as I'm told, or else I get the hose. But it was that same person that called me out on it, and I was told that I fucked up, and that no one in OneHive leadership supports me in the channel, and they don't support my points of view and what I say and how I'm conducting myself. It was complete news to me at that point. And I knew that this person did not agree, wanted Jake back. I'll just say it. He wanted Jake back. And so I called him on it because it wasn't addressed before. And I asked him back at the CWL finals, what did you mean by that? This is how it made me feel. I feel like you don't want me doing it. And so what I was told is, it's correct. This person doesn't. Surprise, surprise. But I'm just glad that we addressed it. Like it never was addressed before. But it was out in the open now. It's addressed. And I asked, what's going on? Why? And it's, quote, you're not capable of doing the channel long term in this person's eyes. And is speaking on behalf of all of OneHive leadership is what it's told to be. And again, I screenshotted all the convos. Because I knew this was going to come out eventually someday. And so at the end of the day, look, if you don't want me to be the OneHive guy, that's fine. It's their, I don't disagree with it. It's their clan. It's fine. I just thought it could have gone about a different way. And I really felt abused and used. I felt like everything that I did for the last 9 months meant nothing and that I was insignificant. And I didn't feel that way up until those comments were said to me about how my loyalty to the clan was called into question. I was really blindsided, folks. I really was. But that's okay, because I still stayed in the clan afterwards, right? But I started to put a little bit 2 and 2 together. I had no intention of leaving OneHive after that. I was even still asked, we still want you in the clan, that kind of deal. But anyway, 3 hours after being told that, I was told that they don't want me doing any OneHive content whatsoever anymore. And I had asked to clarify, can I do anything whatsoever? No, none, zero. You were basically locked out of OneHive content. That's fine. It's their client. I respect that, right? I can't do video content unless I'm in the war. So for me, there was no reason to keep Brute at OneHive anymore. OneHive's Brute. So that's why I sent him to Team WBT, is because I can't use any content except for my own live attacks. It had nothing to do with CWL. It just had to do with the fact that I'd like to do recaps. I'd like to show other things and tutorials, and I want to show other people's attacks because there's some really good things to learn from them, and I can't use OneHive. So that's why I did that. But I was still at OneHive. I'm still on the roster. I'm still in awards, you know? There's the whole story. All right. Okay, CWL. The other reason why I'm leaving is, so it's basically how they treated me, how that went down. The fact that they're a CWL clan, I am done with the CWL. I have no desire to participate in this tournament anymore, or season, whatever you want to call it. I find it a charade, a charade, a facade, and I just really disagree with everything that's about it. I'll go into that in just a second. So if OneHive is a CWL focused clan, I'd be taking up a spot for somebody else that's way better than me. So there's no reason, and if every week is dominated by prepping and executing in CWL, I have no desire to be in the next week. There's no reason for me to stay. So that's the other reason. And then lastly, I really take issue with what happened with Gianni, Savage, Ferdy, and Crazy Movin' and me. I take issue with it. Gianni, if those of you that don't know, Gianni, Savage, Ferdy, and Crazy Movin', they didn't really agree with some of the things that were happening in the CWL, what everybody has been talking about. And then specifically, the fact of the rules saying that you can't war with anyone, like even casual war, that has a modding history, which I find super hypocritical. Because in their own rules, the clean slate rule, they're going to turn a blind eye to your history. So what's the difference? If they changed their mind of the past, they're just as guilty of the same acts. But as long as they say they're not doing it now, it's okay. It just blew my mind. The logic behind that blew my mind. And because these people, those Savage, Ferdy, and Gianni broke CWL rules and were suspended because of that, that impacted their status with OneHive. And what bothered me, and what I find a bit hypocritical to what Jake's video is talking about, is, hey, we know the CWL is wrong and broken and we got to do something to fix it, but you're still participating in it. I can't get down with that. Hey, we're going to say a video that says, hey, CWL sucks. And that's not what he says, but we got to do something about it. It's broken. Let's make it better. But you're still playing in the brokenness. You're still supporting it. And you're still profiting off of it. Going back to Gianni, Savage, Ferdy, and Crazy Movin', they did a ton for the clan. A ton. Gianni was a co-leader. They were some of my favorite clanmates, to be honest with you. But one mistake that they made that wasn't in tune, not falling in line with the other lemmings of the community that just follow blindly the lie that is the CWL, I'll get to that in just a second. It meant nothing. It's, what have you done for me lately? Not even demoting Gianni. Not even let him ride out his 2-week suspension and demoting him, which is a stupid freaking rule anyway. It's just, you're gone. That is so wrong. It's nothing that you've done before matters. They never modded. They never cheated. They just were associated somehow, some way with those that did. Which, take a look at the LHG. You had the CWL versus LHG. How many modding clans were on the LHG? You guys warred against them. You're killing me with that. You let people in that have a modding history. That's like that's the exact opposite of what, quote, OneHive is supposed to stand for. But yet we're in it, or they are. I'm not in OneHive anymore. They're in it. I find it hypocritical and oxymoron so much. And I do think that they were given a raw deal, and I don't agree with what they did. And I just believe people, it's not fun. If you're not respected that same way and you're expendable at a drop of a hat, I don't want to be there. It's not right for me. I'm not a good fit for there. Might be a good one for you, but it's not for me. So here's the thing about the ironic part. So Jake comes back. says great things about the CWL. Let's keep in mind the rules have not changed. The clean slate rule is still there, and everything said in and you also in the rules of the CWL, you can't talk crap about another clan. You got to be good sportsmanship. Well, sometimes good sportsmanship is bringing evidence, as a good sportsman should, that says this person was not a good sportsman. So, and it's war whales quite a few times. Yeah, you know, there's a habit forming. There's a pattern, which to me is very troubling. Yet we're told to like not look and don't call attention to it, and let's just try to finish it out. I disagree with that stuff, man, but you can't say it publicly. And I just find it hypocritical because we come back praising it, getting on board, getting behind it, promoting it, but the rules haven't changed. And only recently, when the entire community is in an uproar about all the stuff that a lot of people have been saying about the deficiencies of the setup of the clan. It's not even, I don't blame the admins. I do not blame the admins. I blame the setup, okay, of the CWL. And then, of course, really poor decisions. But it still comes down to the setup. Why are we going to say that it's junk? And then, not to mention, remember, I said something publicly negative about someone else, and I was told that I can't do this long term because of that. But yet Jake just called out War Whale's leadership. So for me, it's so confusing of what I was told as why I no longer can cover OneHive stuff. But as Jake can say his point of view and it's okay. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you how it looks like to me. It's a bit hypocritical. But I support with what Jake says. The leadership there is doing something, and Snip said it in his own comments on his own channel that War Whales never let prior modders in until this season. Look what that got you, and that basically leads me into CWL. Why I don't want to ever play in the CWL right now. So let me first start with the positives. I had a great time in the CWL. I loved Season 1. I have never been pushed to my limits like I have before. Being in OneHive and participating in the CWL, not because of what it is, but what it's meant to be. And that is even playing field, slugging it out, best of the best, right? But because of the success, and I do think Season 1 was a success, that it just upped the ante of pressure and competition. And when that happens, people can react differently to pressure, and they're forced to make bad decisions, right? Or more forced to make a decision, and sometimes it's a bad one. And that's where the bad habits of people that have bad records rear its ugly head. And look, I'm not trying to say that even without this, there's not closet modding. Everybody's a victim of closet modding. OneHive was, Cheatham, Master Wheat, Alpha Gill. Look, no one's trying to say that stuff didn't happen, and closet modding is detrimental to everybody. I take issue with closet modders. I absolutely hate them. I have no issue with open modders. It's their choice. Just stay out of our area. That's what. Go practice your own open mod clans and do mod against each other. Have at it. I take issue with people that pretend that they're fair play and are not. That's what really grinds my gears. And you know what? That's what actually Zeus said, which intrigued me of why I've even wanted to talk to him in the first place. Anyway, so the fact that it's two things about the CWL that's just fundamentally flawed. The clean slate rule is just stupid. Hey, I'm just gonna say it like it is because I can now. We're a fair play community. We don't stand for cheaters. But if you've done it before, we're gonna forget. Are you kidding me? Ask anyone that's been cheated on, boy or girl, that if they give a second chance to the person that cheated on them, they did not cheat again. You're killing me. It's human behavior. It's a beautiful thing. It's nature. They're going to and did. It's just, it blows my mind. The second thing that really is wrong with it is the fact that there's a quote council. You're not better than me. The select few, the 12 that all have stakes at the table, meaning that their decision-making directly impacts or benefits, or not even benefits is the right word, impacts their clan somehow, some way, is a flawed system. We already showed this guy. They can say, oh, I don't care if this hurts my own clan, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, they still have a stake at the table, so their decision-making impacts their own clan. So you're forced with two things. You need no admins whatsoever, or you need a commissioner of some kind that has no impact, a complete bipartisan, completely divested from any decision-making that impacts clans participating in it, like a Supercell commissioner that runs it. But they also need to police it because of closet modders, because nothing will stop closet modders. The only thing that will stop that is Supercell. Not sure how League of Legends do it, but they need to do something to make it so scary that the people don't choose not to, and clean. They can do so much more to clean it up. Jake says have a task team that does it. I completely agree with that. I do, but still waiting. Yeah. That's it. So that they either have, if they don't have that, the more realistic option that I can see happening, because I'm not one to just be a naysayer, and I think the philosophy of what the CWL was, I really agree with. I think it's great. I just think it's designed to fail with admins that have clans in the league somehow, some way, and we all know each other. You know, is to basically have 32 admins. And I know that seems silly, but just hear me out. If everybody that is participating in the league has a voice at the table, and you put it to a majority, a democracy like that vote, then you're done. I would be on board with that. I'd be okay with that. Majority rules, 32 clans. No clan families, though, of course. Like, you can't have OneHive and OneHive Prime both having a vote. I think one vote, you know, from a clan family kind of deal. But whatever that might look like, just a suggestion. Someone also said that on Twitter. That's the direction we got to go, because we have clear biasness, and the fact that I just feel like, here's the last thing that really broke this, that really set me off. So yesterday, when they announced their decision making, which is just horseshit, about war whales, the community was in an uproar, and there was a lot of conversation in the CWL lobby. It was so bad that they muted it so that you can only be read-only. And after a short period of time, someone was able to document in there, if you're going to act like children, we're going to treat you like children by locking us out. I took issue with that because, number one, I'm 36 years old, even though I act like a child. I'm 36 years old. Fuck you. That's what I say. How about you listen to the community and fix your fucking problem and address the issue? How about them apples? Silencing the voice doesn't equal result. Listening does. Listening and then acting upon it. So when I read that where if you act like children, you'll be treated like one, I'm out. Cool. You can keep playing, doing your little thing that you're doing. I'm out. And I'm a nobody. You know, I don't think that I'm of any relevance. I'm just telling you guys that's how I view this thing and why I'm doing the decision that I'm doing. I really commend Midwinters. Midwinters, what they said, I echo, bro. That's how I feel. 100%. And Jake's video, if you feel that way, that it's broken, why are you guys still in the CWL? Yeah, that's my question there. I say everything? I think I did. Well, that's everything. It's long enough, 33 minutes. I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate mail. That's fine. One thing you'll know is that I will never delete your comments. Say what you want to. I'm not trying to get any attention. I'm not trying to pick a fight. Really, again, just to recap, what I was doing was just communicating why I'm leaving OneHive, why I'm done with the CWL. Unless it changes, I just have no confidence in the CWL right now. Not quitting the game. And I'm also not leaving CWL OneHive to go to other CWL clans that have shown interest in me coming over there. I have no interest in going to those clans, but I appreciate the reach out, guys. I do, only because if it's going to be it's going to be focused on the CWL. There's no reason for me to go there. Because I'm not going to participate in it. But again, wish you guys the best of luck in the that they're deciding to do whatever it is that they want to do. OneHive, even though I said what I said and how I view things, I still think OneHive is a great clan. I do. Don't let one person experience be the catacomb or the catalyst to basically say that's the way it always is, because it's not. It's just that's the way it happened to me. That's the way that I processed information. That's the way that I'm making decision about it for myself. I'd like to have fun again. It was something that was good for me. it is a great clan to go to. If that's the types of stuff that you're looking for, but for me, it's not what I'm looking for right now anymore. Yeah. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you got to be better than the double, and I'll check you next time.